Hey everybody.
Chosen ones.
It's back. We back. We back.
We're back.
New season.
New season. It's been a while. We've been busy, Daddy. 2025.
I think we have a new season because we needed a new reason.
Ebo shade.
Every time your season change, you need a new reason to go into the next one. If you don't have a reason, you don't move.
I like that.
Let's move on.
I like that.
Okay.
2025 has been busy though.
Yeah.
So we haven't just not been doing anything and not posting videos.
Yes. Yes.
But we do have some new things in store, as we always do,
Yes.
right? Some things lined up.
Yes.
And the way we do it is we like to release videos knowing when we're going to be able to release more videos, more content for you all. So it has been a little while. We have missed you. We hope you have been well. We hope that 2025 has been good to you.
Yes.
Even more so, we hope that you have been good to 2025. But it's a new year, right, Daddy?
Yes, right.
2026.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I remember when it was 1999 and the year changed over and it was like, oh my gosh, there was all this,
crazy stuff,
right? Uproar about the world ending and we're switching over to Y2K and here we are 26 years later. 2025 has been a year though, Dad. Let's review it.
Yes.
We had some really amazing things
happen in our family. We did.
Yeah.
We did.
You want to start it off?
No, I'll let you do it. Why don't you just tell us about the highlights and then I'll comment.
Highlight. Okay, so somebody got their doctorate.
Yeah. Thank you. I was honored to receive my second honorary doctor's degree, doctors of theology. I had a doctorate of divinity already. So I'm proud of that. Also,
well, let's park there just for a minute because this is your second doctorate.
Yes.
This year, though, or 2025, we celebrated it in a really big way.
Yes.
I feel like the first doctorate you got, we were smaller. All the kids were smaller, right?
Yeah.
4 of us.
Yeah, you guys.
But we're much older than we were when you got your first one.
Much different impact.
Why do you think there was more highlight on the doctorate that you received in 2025 than there was the first go round?
I think there was a couple of reasons. Number one, the first doctorate was received through a Bible college that was in our church.
Okay.
It was a accredited Bible college that was in our church, was on the auspice of our church, so to speak. And so we had a graduation, but it wasn't a lot of pomp and circumstance as it were with the formal graduation that we had at with Dr. McLeod and the wonderful university he had. So that was the difference. The honor was the same. I thank God for it. I'm honored. I'm humbled by the fact that God would recognize through others those things that have been so precious to me, and those things that I've been delivered to others have been that impactful and have touched it in such a way.
Yeah, amazing. I think being much older than the first one, myself, and I feel like I can speak for my siblings as well, us being much older now than we were when you received your first doctorate. We were able to really appreciate it in a way that we couldn't when we were kids.
Right.
That recognition and that such a big accomplishment, because that's saying a lot. For someone to honor you with a doctorate degree means that you not only have lived enough life to be able to show for the life that you live, that you have the information to provide, you have the wisdom that you can share, but that you have shared it. Right. That you have lived through these experiences, you have this wisdom, and that you communicate that wisdom so much to where someone would want to honor you with a doctorate. So I think that is amazing. Congratulations again. I'm very proud of you.
I look at life as if you or your life is a water hose. You always have to have a source.
Yes.
All you can do is have a comfortable way in which life can flow through you, because life is water.
I like that. Yes, it is.
So I just thank God I had a big hole, but
not big holes. Wait a minute.
I was open.
Yes.
To the experience. So I appreciate it. Very grateful.
That you're willing and have been willing to share your water.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very much so.
I like that.
Very much so.
That's very cool.
I think water, and we're not going to get deep with that, but water, you don't have to share it. It cuts its own path. All you have to do is provide the ground.
Very good. Well, let me say it like this, that you didn't dam up your own water.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah. That's excellent.
Excellent. Thank you, baby.
Yeah.
Can I tell about the other one?
Yes, please.
My wife and I.
Whoa.
Well, let me just tell you about it. My wife and I celebrated our 45th wedding anniversary this year.
Big deal.
Our plan was we had planned to go out of town, get a hotel, do some romantic things or whatever. But my kids had different plans, and they threw us the most extravagant, wonderful, beautiful, loving, had all the right people were there, all the right people were invited. We had some of our closest village family, some of our closest friends, some of my softball friends.
Yeah.
We had some people there. It was just an awesome, awesome celebration. And it has been my pleasure to be the husband of that beautiful woman and the mother of me for kids. All right.
So and my siblings.
Appreciate that. It was beautiful.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Yes. It was.
And again, another occasion where we're much older now. So there are things that we can do for you that we couldn't necessarily do when we were younger. So it was amazing to be able to provide you with that. And it was amazing because the way y'all raised us is how we are today, right? So you raised us to be loving towards one another, to be communicative, to be forgiving, to be kind. And that has aided in us being as close as we are. We have remained as close, if not closer, than we were growing up in the house together. So when one of us or two of us say we're going to do something, we all rally together and make it happen. And every part of us, there are 4 kids, we all bring our portion, and they're different but complementary to one another. And I love that. I love my siblings. You know how much I love y'all. I'm crazy about y'all, but I also attribute it to the standard and the order that was set in the home. And I love you and mommy so much and honor you so much for that, because it wouldn't be without that example.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
For sure.
But I think that takes us to, one of the things that you and I discussing, and that's source.
Absolutely.
We wanted to talk about some essentials. I think there are some things that are essential to not repeating the past situation.
Oh, I see what you're doing. You're going into.
Yeah, I'm diving in.
He's diving right in. So let me frame this out, because I want it to be framed out, because I want people to be methodical about the way that they think about this information. Right?
Okay.
I came to you and I said, Daddy, give me some life hacks to share with the people.
Okay, we're dealing with life hacks.
A life hack, meaning something that we can keep at the forefront of our mind in terms of living our lives and living them in a thriving kind of way, instead of being a victim, or living our lives in a very methodical, what's the word I'm looking for? On purpose kind of way, in purpose kind of way, right? And so then here we go. You started talking about source.
The first, I think, if you are, life is not about what you promised or what has been promised to you. It's about priorities, and priorities present opportunities for promise.
Life is not about what has been promised to you. It's about priorities. That's okay.
So when you put your right priorities in place, then the promise that has given you is going to come to you. You have need of patience. You have need of patience. You have need of patience, which is a process.
Yeah.
Endurance, putting up with different kinds of attitudes, different kind of personalities, but maintaining yours, not giving away your power.
Park.
Go ahead.
I love how you just said that, because you said essentially what I heard is we can't focus so much on the promise that has been given to us, but we do need to focus on the priorities and the process of that promise. Because it would be easy for us to go into a situation and say, I was promised patience, or I was promised, I think that's what the example used. I was promised patience, and look at all the situations that are not giving us that patience, as opposed to.
Better still, we're never asked, we're not promised patience. We're promised relationships that require patience.
But you're highlighting the process of it.
I'm highlighting the process, but I don't want us to get caught up in that and believing that patience is something that, how do I put it? I attach to. Patience is something that just happens to my life, and I learn the process of how to deal. It's the events that come in my life that create the patience, to create the endurance.
The process.
Yeah, there you go.
You're talking about the process. Because I could have inserted any word in that, right? I was promised love. I was promised joy. I was promised a great friend. I was promised a great relationship. And we can make that the focus as opposed to the process. I'm really speaking to that process part because I think that is a very poignant and very relevant and necessary train of thought that we need to be in. I don't necessarily make New Year's resolutions, but we should start off the year intentional, right?
Right.
And if we're so focused and inundated on the promise, we don't pay enough attention to the process. And the process is actually what matters the most, because that's the inner workings, and that's the dealing with oneself, and the heart matters, and the that's what you're speaking to.
Right.
Okay. Right. Because we're talking about source.
Right.
And then you were talking about promise and process. And so I'm more or less just peeling back the layers and getting into your train of thought where that's concerned.
Right. I think the easiest way to frame it is that life is going to give you life. As we call it sometimes, life be life.
Life gone life.
The way you handle those situations, the kind of endurance you have, the kind of optimism you have, has a lot to do with how you get through, or what we're calling patience.
Yes.
How we endure. And patience from a spiritual standpoint is not enduring, it's enduring with joy. Because you understand the outcome. You understand that this is necessary. I'll use it in terms of a female. A female desires to be a mother, but the process goes through pain.
For sure.
You understand? But the pain is alleviated because the purpose is so much greater.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
And so in that time, going back to what we said,
the pain is not necessarily alleviated as much as it's not the focus.
There you go.
Yeah.
And when I say alleviated, there you go. It's not the focus. So, I'm sorry, I lost my.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to make you lose your thought.
So let's say a woman wants a child. She goes through the process of having a labor. As you said, it's not alleviated, but the focus becomes totally different.
Yes, birthing the child.
Once she becomes pregnant, the child becomes a priority. So she's not even focused on the promise of a child. She's focused on the priority of being pregnant with a child.
The process of it, yes.
So to me, when we bringing it back around, priority is the immediate attention. Patience is the enduring strength. So I think that sometimes we look at what's promised and we forget. Promise is not the priority. It's the patience and the priorities that require the patience. Follow me?
I am.
Am I making sense, guys? Okay, I hope so. Anyway.
I think so. I think you are what I said earlier, which is just you're highlighting the importance of lending yourself fully to the process.
Right, there you go.
And not making the promise the focus. And not that it's not important, that is important, right? Okay, well, if I'm pregnant and I'm giving birth, obviously me having the child and the child being had is important, but more so, I'm not thinking about that. Shouldn't be the focus in me giving birth to the child. Me giving birth to the child should be make sure that I'm breathing properly, and I'm making sure that I'm following the doctor's orders, and making sure that I'm eating properly, and making sure that, because that process will automatically bring me to the promise.
Right. But the priorities are what you just named.
Those are the priorities.
Make sure I'm not stressing, because that's right now.
Yes.
Faith is now.
Source.
There you go. Source. So when we talk about source, I think it's very important that you have that as a part of your makeup. I think there's a couple of things that I think are so important. And I think that's the number one thing. Now, where you derive that from.
B5 bingo, because Daddy, you read my mind, because that's where I was going to go next, because there are different sources.
Yes. And can I say this? As much as I have great confidence in my source, I'm not here to criticize yours. I'm not here to say that you are somehow less than because your source is different than mine.
That's good.
You understand what I'm saying? And when I talk about source, I think there's a source that we have to have spiritually. I think there's a source that we have to have emotionally. There has to be somebody in our life that anchors us emotionally when we go out. There has to be a source economically, which that's more in your hands than anybody else's hands.
Yeah.
And then there has to be a source of community.
That's really good, Dad.
Yeah. Well,
because I really honestly, when we were talking about source and process and promise, and then you mentioned the word faith, what I've come to realize and understand is that faith is not just, it's not relegated to the positive belief systems that we have. Faith is your system of belief, period. You can believe that negative things always happen to you.
And you'll get it.
And abide by that belief system, right? And that is what you will receive.
You will get it.
And conversely, you can believe that positive things are what happens in your life and perpetually happen. And that's what you will receive. And that's not to say that life won't life and things won't happen even when we think positively, because life is going to life. But just in terms of faith and our belief systems, it's not just the religious explanation of faith. Faith is your belief system, be it negative or positive. But then you just added a different kind of viewpoint of looking at systems of faith or systems of source when you said financially, emotionally, relational, and what was the other one?
Economically.
And spiritually.
And spiritually.
Okay, so I want you to share more about that.
Well, I think that when we talk about source, to me, source is all encompassing.
Yes.
It's not just, I need a husband, I need a wife, I need a family, I need money, I need all. Source to me is that divine, I call it divine. Can I do that? It's that divine enabler, as it was, that empowers me to be all of those things to the people I need to be. Now, in order to be that, those things don't always work out according to how I think they should, economically, emotionally, intelligently, spiritually, community. All of those things can sometimes be confusing and sometimes out of kilter. But the thing that anchors you is your source.
Okay.
Now, those are the streams of your source. So here's the thing that's really wild about what I just said. The very things that anchor us are all the things that we receive our attacks in. Economics, relationship, and community. I want you to think about why. Think about when your life is at its greatest optimum. Those four things are working in concert with one another. That doesn't mean you're going to have $1 million, you're going to have all the money, but you're going to be walking around with your bills paid. You're going to be walking around with a good friend in your life. You're going to be walking, say, I go to church, I have a community, I have a village, I go to the mosque, I go, well, I mean, I'm not trying to religify this. Right. You know, I believe in Yeshua. You know, I believe in Yahweh. So I'm not even going to trip about that. But I want you to understand this for this particular lesson. I want you to understand whatever your source is, it has to be something you can go back to all the time. Now, what is my source? How do I define it? What do you run to in your crisis? Right. Yes. When your money is low, who you mad at? Or are you accountable for, baby, you're not making good, wise decisions? Are you accountable because maybe you're not using all the gifts and talents that you have? Maybe you were afraid to ask for that promotion. So it's affecting you economically, not because the devil is attacking you or there's something in opposition. It's because of your alignment with your source. With your source. Go ahead. Sorry. No, yeah, I'm following you. Good? Yeah. So that's that. And so when you deal with that, that's the first part. I think in the coming years, and I want to go back to something. This year has been unusual because I don't know how many of you are aware, and I'm sure you are aware, unless you live in a cave, how the atmosphere has shifted. For sure. Over the last 4 years, we have seen a significant shift in the atmosphere, even time, and the acceleration of time and all of that. In my understanding, that is a spiritual thing. So if it's happening and you're not connected to the right source, you won't be aware that it is a spiritual thing. For example, if anger is your source,
there we go.
And everything operates around you're mad, you're not happy, your money operates like you can't get no promotion because you're always making the supervisor mad. You can't be in the community because you don't get along with nobody. You don't join no church because every preacher is crooked. You don't have no relationship because you don't have no friends. You don't get along with your family. You got but your source is anger. So anger is your God.
Good.
Because I want to break it down because everybody's going to say God is my source in whatever dimension we see him.
Mm-hmm. Which is why I brought up or why I wanted to highlight the belief system, right? Because that's what we go to. That's what we lean on when we're out of answers,
right?
Or when we've asked our friend and they can't give it to us, or ask Papa, or ask Mommy, or ask what do we lean on? Is it anger? Is it, well, I ain't never been treated right. They ain't never had no answers for me now.
Right.
Or is it do we rely on peace? Do we rely on positivity? Do we rely on rest? What is it? What is the source?
Right.
Okay. I'm tracking with you.
So and I'm inclined to share this simply because what we share is personal, and our personal belief is that our source is what the Bible in the scripture calls El Shaddai, which is the many-breasted one. And that simply is a virtue in which Yahweh expresses himself.
Yeah.
And which means he's sufficient. Yeah. He feeds us even in our infancy. He feeds us even in our need. And if your source can only provide you with an emotion,
very good.
You have the wrong, because anger is an emotion. Resentment, bitterness is an emotion. Unforgiveness. Don't let that be your source. That's why we can talk about being a collective village, community, and family, and celebrate anniversaries, celebrate birthdays, and all the wonderful things, is because we all have the same source. Never marry a person that has a different source than you do.
Well, yes.
Anyway, go. I'm sorry.
What would you say our source is, Dad? I mean, I know what it is, but for the people.
As a family, do you want me to put it in terms of virtue, or do you want to deal it in an altruistic or a holistic sense?
Both.
Yahweh. Can I tell you this? The virtue within Yahweh?
Yes.
Peace.
Yes.
We're a family that pursues peace at all costs. Because we've been taught, follow peace and pursue it ardently. For without peace and holiness, no man shall see Yahweh. That's
so good.
Yeah.
That's amazing, because that was my life hack.
Yeah. That was it.
My life hack was pursue peace. I was talking to Mommy the other night, and I was telling her I plan a end of year retreat for my organization. And it's a lot, right? It's a lot. It's almost 100 people that I'm planning this all-day event for. And
she's a great event planner too, guys.
Thank you.
She needs to start her own business. So if you guys want her to start her own business as an event planner, I tell you what you do. Send a thumbs up, send her your address, and send her some business.
Amen.
She can plan an event. She has a great team working for her. She has a great family behind her, and she has a dad that needs her to help buy him some tires. So
in 2026.
Yes, she's awesome. Go ahead, baby. I'm sorry.
Hype me up, Papa. I appreciate that. That's sweet. But my point was, though, that throughout planning it can be, if I let it be, it could be stressful, right? And one of my claims to fame at my organization is that they call me a guru of peace. I have the peace of a saint, is what they tell me, which is a really big compliment. If you can pay a compliment, I would love to receive a compliment like that, because it speaks to my inner workings. And it's not something that I do for show. It really is a practice of my life. So when things come, because a lot of things come all the time that like to or would attempt to knock me out of peace, I find my way back. Take a moment, take a breath, take a walk, listen to some music, think of something funny, laugh. I breathe. That's a big part. I Yahweh. I inhale and exhale. Yes. But I pursue peace at all costs. So when there are situations that arise that attempt to disturb my peace, my focus is always getting back to peace and not skipping over whatever the issue is, because that's not going to resolve it, but resolving as much of it as I can and then returning to peace as soon as possible. And even in my resolution, I'm looking for peace. I'm looking for the peaceable route. I'm looking for the peaceable pathway. So that's really cool that you brought that up, that you were able to say as our head, as our leader, that our source is peace. And I would agree with that. I thought you were going to say love, though.
But I think without peace, love is not possible.
Ooh.
It's to me, it's a tandem. Every level, every person that I know to be loving is peaceful.
It's true.
I haven't met a peaceful person that wasn't loving.
Wow. That's true, Papa.
And it doesn't mean every peaceful person is loud, every peaceful is gregarious, or every peaceful person is
quiet or
whatever, or demure. It just simply means peace demonstrates itself through the personality of the individual and how they receive it. And he molds that peace into the purpose of that individual. I think we don't give the Creator enough credit for how he wants to shape us. That's why we fight it.
Well, we're inundated with the masks and the charades of everything outside of internal focus, living up to one's highest self, being loving and kind and forgiving and stuff, because that's not immediate gratification, right? We're inundated with immediate gratification. We're inundated with feeling like we're big and bad and tough instead of actually living out the virtues of someone who's actually big and bad and tough, which is someone who's loving and peaceful and kind and forgiving and has the ability to delay gratification.
Yeah. There you go.
Excellent. You got another life hack?
Well, we talked about community.
Tap us back in.
Community.
Okay.
She spoke of something earlier. Keeping a family together. Because community starts with home. There is no community without home. I don't care how many marches and how many meetings you go to. If you sitting up in that meeting and your wife and your kids don't get along with you, you're not doing the community very much of a help. In fact, you're damaging the village and you're putting a black mark on the village. Because the greatest individual that should taught my prowess as a man or my wife's prowess as a woman should be my kids, and they should be a reflection of what I am. And I think that community doesn't start until we put order in the family.
Excellent.
And the need to gather. We're so fractured as a family. I grew up in a different era, and I grew up down south. So my experience may be a bit different than yours, but I grew up in a community where family was always gathering.
Yeah.
And it was instilled in me that when I had a family, that's what we should always do, is gather. So it wasn't like we had 2 gatherings this week and that's all we do. We're always together as a family. We're always singing, we karaoke, we're doing all kinds of stuff. We're doing things to keep our village together so that when we go in the community, we can help being a gluing factor to our community.
When you say that it's a byproduct, though, because I don't even know that that's necessarily the goal, as much as we understand spending time together, being a united, not just front, but middle and back and sides, and actually loving on one another, uplifting one another, encouraging each other. The byproduct of that is that then we can go out into the world and spread that with other folk. Yeah.
There you go. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I don't think it's something you have to think about. It's just something that you become because you're in that environment. And that's what I think community. And if you don't have a community, create one.
Very good.
I know we make the assumption from where we are and where we sit as a family and of a unit of 14, 15 individuals. We make the assumption everybody may have that. I don't make that assumption. I know what it means. I know what it is to be by yourself and want to be with other families.
Yeah.
Go put yourself in a social environment so you can get to know other people.
There we go.
So that you can create relationships.
There we go.
They don't have to be the same skin tone. They don't have to be whatever, but they have to be people that have common belief in who you are, and you have common belief in who they are, to create that community. And it's going to be very necessary in 2026.
Very good.
And if you don't understand what I'm saying, you wait around and you'll see. But just listen to this old man tell you, listen, create your own community, create your own family. I always tell people, family really has nothing to do with blood. It has more to do with love.
And peace.
You're fortunate, yeah. You're fortunate if you can love the blood.
Yeah.
But then there's sometimes you have to find the love, even if you don't have the blood.
That's very good. That's very good. You said common, I think you said common purpose, common belief.
Common belief.
I'm thinking about the person, though, who doesn't necessarily have family members, blood family members, and they want a sense of belonging. I think another requirement is when you're going into different groups and you're trying to find your space or your place, vulnerability.
Right.
Finding a place where you can be vulnerable, but it also is a safe place for you to be vulnerable.
There you go.
Yeah, because I think sometimes if you come from a space and a place where you don't really have a lot of blood relatives that you get along with, there could be the misnomer, or you may feel like you have to guard yourself or protect yourself because you've more than likely been hurt or rejected in some way. And so you're looking for a sense of belonging. The right group, the right community will allow you to be vulnerable, but also safe in your vulnerability. So common belief in vulnerability. Any other?
Well, I just want to, can I get a caveat?
Please do.
Please don't take your hurt as an indication that you need to flee. I think we have to reassess what hurts us. And I'm not.
No, I love this. I want you to break that down.
Because sometimes we think pain is not I say this oftentimes. Pain is a sign that something's out of order in me, not life, not my cousins, not my uncle. They may have done things. They may have said things. They may have been guilty of denigrating me, making me feel less than, all the stuff that fit in the category of negative. But why am I still living in that? Why? Because I haven't adjusted. I learned something. My wife and I are blessed to raise 4 kids, 5 grandkids, and a village of individuals, of believers in our church. One thing I've learned in life is that most things that we resist are probably the things we really need to change.
That part.
If you've been bitter for 25 years, is it still the person who made you bitter, or are you just continuing to drink bitter?
Yes.
So you have to adjust to life. Every bit of pain is not because somebody hurt you, or maybe it's because you requested of your source to be a certain way. And the only way to get that across to you is through this means.
That's very good.
You know, I could think back in my own life. There's situations where I might be in a public forum, or I might be in a private forum, and something happens. And I feel like such a victim. But then I remember what I asked my source to do. And when I ask him to do things, or when you're planning to a big future, the most greatest requirement is discipline. Are you disciplined enough to take adjustments?
Very good.
And not create rejection from adjustments.
Not create rejection from adjustments, necessary adjustments that are meant to benefit you, that if you make will ultimately benefit you. That's very good. It's like coming into the place where you realize that life is not happening to you, it's happening for you.
There you go.
Every little bit of it is happening for you. There's always something for you to learn from, to grow from, to adjust from. That's excellent, Papa. Any other life hacks?
Well, I don't really have, one of the things I'll say too, get physically active.
Oh, very good.
Do something with yourself. Move around.
Do something with yourself.
There's so many
That's good
drugs and shortcuts to looking the way you want to look as a man, looking the way you want to look as a woman, all of that. And there's nothing wrong with
no judgment.
Looking in the mirror and saying, I want to look better. Please do that. but do it the right way.
Yeah.
Get out, get some exercise, eat right, change your diet, watch what you buy from the shelf in the grocery store, do your research. Be more aware of your consumption, not just your consumption.
Oh, that's good.
Not just your consumption, fleshly or naturally, because that's dangerous too. When you eat a lot of unforgiveness and a lot of bitterness and a lot of strife, you're going to come out with a life of confusion and a life of lack. But if you consume the right kind of foods naturally, the right kind of foods spiritually, the right kind of foods economically, and in all of those community-wise, it makes your life a whole lot more healthier. And it's usually because you don't get angry, you adjust. Why you get mad at them? Because they're pointing out something you knew about for the last 15 years anyway. You just mad because they saw it. I ain't gonna say nothing else.
Or they're the 38th person who have told you that.
And you're tired of hearing it.
Tired of hearing it.
That's a key that you need to change when you say, I'm tired of it. Don't say that to me no more. Yeah, that's probably why you need to hear it. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Mind the business that pays you in the way that you want to be paid. And that's not to say,
I like that.
Well, if someone comes in and mind the business that pays you what you want to be paid.
My God. Look at the revelation.
Because I'm a proponent of minding my own business. That pays you what you want to be paid. Because some people mind other folks' business.
And they think they're gonna get paid.
But they get paid, but not how they want to be paid. That's right. But that's what you just said when you were talking about people and being in other folks' business and gossiping and all that stuff. Well, that has its own. Not has its own. Everything abides under the law of reciprocity, right? So if
I agree.
Mind the business that pays you what you want to be paid. That was another life hack, just so that you know. When you were talking, no, this is big though. I went like this. I shook because there's a lady on my job, real quick,
right?
Who we work remotely, so we don't see each other day in, day out. My whole organization, we work remotely. But anyways, long story short, I hadn't seen her in maybe a good 7 months. And when I saw her, she looked amazing. She was glowing, skin bright, smiling, and she's not the smiling kind. God bless her. That's just not her way. The thing I love about her, though, is that she'll tell you, like, I'm not the smiling kind. I'm not going to be fakety. And, some people attribute being happy with being fake. To each his own. Long story short, she looked amazing and she was smiling a lot. So I went and I talked to her. And she told me, she said, I had to make a decision. I knew that I needed to get my body in order. I knew that I needed to make healthier decisions, be conscious about what I consume, be conscious about my health. And my doctor told me that I could go on one of the very famous, popular shots to lose weight. But then she said to herself, so I could do it that way. But for me, I knew deep down inside that would be cheating. I knew it would be cheating. And I knew that I wouldn't be able to sustain the healthy lifestyle that I knew that I needed and that I knew that I deserved. So I did it the natural way. Not only did she do that, though, she also spoke to the discipline that it required for her to stay regimented. She had just received a promotion.
Excellent.
And she didn't tie those two together in the conversation, but I'm tying it together. Because I believe that the decision that she made to not take the path of immediate gratification, to take the path of, well, I've got to adjust. I've got to make better choices, aligned her with the path to being promoted on the job. It's just the alignment part, right? The alignment piece. It all works together.
No, but I do want to say this. Yeah. That's wonderful. And I think that works along with the principles that we're teaching. But I also want to address those of you that may be suffering from health issues.
Got to do what you got to do.
Require you to do something immediate.
Yes.
So we don't want to
never.
We don't want to assuage you or to make you feel like your path is even less faithful, less dependable, or less trustworthy. I want you to know that sometimes you have to do what you have to do. Maybe
you have to do what you have to do.
There are times in life that over the years, I have made bad financial decisions. And there have been times in life where the finances of life or the situations of life have forced me to do what I had to do. Now we're not talking about doing illegal stuff, so please don't get that. But it's the necessary. So when you talk about health and you talk about your well-being and all of that, but what she's talking about, all things being equal, your health, your heart is healthy, all things being equal, the natural route is always the best route. And even if you have to medically have some type of procedure to induce it, still eat right. And then once you start exercise, and then stay inside of your regimen.
I appreciate you doing that. Yeah. That's the covering of a father.
That's how we that much to be covered.
It's the covering of a father. I just love it.
Community, family. Right? That's why you need community. You can't have community if you ain't correctable.
Well, there's that. I'm glad that you said that, though, but I wanted to highlight the fact that she knew herself enough to know what she could do and what she couldn't do. And she was able to identify that I can do this on my own. I don't need the. So, yes, if your doctor says you need to do XYZ, do XYZ. We fully support you. There's no judgment here. Right. Do your thing. Just be well, be you, and live in your truth.
But I think what we're having now, and it's possibly an epidemic.
Yeah.
Is living on that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Creating a situation. But we won't stay on that too long. But be encouraged.
Be encouraged.
Do what you got to do.
Do what you got to do.
Business.
Handle your business.
Make the adjustments in life.
Yeah.
Why be angry at somebody that don't care if you're bad? You're wasting some energy. Why be unforgiving to somebody who don't care if you forgive them or not? That's why I have a very simple plan in my life. I live the life in front of me, not the life behind me.
Not even the life so far ahead that you can't be present in.
The life I can see is the life I live, not the life I want to be.
Not the life you want to have. You live the life that you're living right now in the moment. I love that.
I stay in the moment, because if you stay in the moment, you make adjustments quickly.
So we gave a few life hacks.
We gave a whole bunch of life hacks.
You said consider your source,
right?
Right. Which means that know what your source is.
Right.
I said, what did I say? Pursue peace at all.
Pursue peace. That's another great life hack.
Right. We also talked about minding the business that pays you what you want to be paid.
That's another good one.
And then you also said, live the life that you're living that's in front of you.
The life you can see. The life you can see, experience, and feel. Live in that life. Don't live in where you've been, and don't go too far where you're going. Because if you can't fix what you see, how do you think you're going to get what you think is invisible in your future?
B5 bingo. That was the perfect wrap up to this conversation. Listen, we love y'all so much. Trust and believe y'all will see a lot more of us in 2026. Okay. We got some things lined up, some special. We always have about special things we got lined up. And again, hey, the more interaction we have,
hit us up, y'all.
The more we'll post. If you all want us to do that live video, we need more interaction.
No, y'all out there. Let us know. Let us know.
We love you so very much.
Love you guys.
Be good to yourself.
Glad to be back.
Yes.
Glad to be back. Love you guys. Okay.
Be encouraged and what do I say? Love. Be loved. And let love. In the meantime, in between time, what they gonna do?
Take care of yourself.
And who else?
Your neighbor.
Hey.
Love you guys.